GM neighbors, welcome to another episode of Alice and Chill Open Mic. So excited for this one today. I am Sharina, the creative producer of My Neighbor Alice, and today we are bringing you something super exciting that we just announced our partnership with Fugs. We have somebody awesome here that's going to be answering some questions, talking about the partnership, and I'm so excited to dive in deeper with them. Welcome, Zoran. How are you doing?
I'm actually doing great. So we had a little headache getting my camera to work, but I guess we're fine now. So definitely very excited to be on the stream. Normally Yacht should be on here, so he had like a little emergency IRL. So I'm taking care of this stream today, and yeah, definitely excited to dive into all of this today.
Yes, yeah, we're so excited to have you on. I feel like eventually we'll have you on in the future, but today we have you. So, why don't you give a quick intro of who you are and what you do for Fugs, and then we'll dive into all the juicy questions that I have prepared.
Oh, this is gonna be a long story. No, I'm joking. I'm gonna keep it short. Well, my name is Zorin. I'm 21. I'm from Germany. So what I do currently for Fags is kind of like leading the partnerships. So that's why I'm here on the stream as well. Me when we get Zorin instead of you. Just to tell you, me and the intern, I won't say who the intern is, have a little like beef going on. So if he throws in the comments, then no. But jokes aside, I'm handling like the kind of partnerships. So that's why I'm here today, and I'm also doing kind of community work in Fax as well. I'm the moderator, but I'm helping on like organizing events and stuff. So that's basically my Oreo. I've been in the space about 4 years now. So I joined when I was pretty young, I would say. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I would imagine if you're 21 now and 4 years ago, gosh, that was like, I'm gonna graduate and go right into crypto and Web3 and NFTs, right?
It was basically like actually I was still in school when I joined Web3, so I was kind of doing both at the same time.
That's crazy. So, like, when you were in school, were you guys, I mean, I guess it was just like a popular thing for you guys to be chatting about. That's how you learned about it with your friends in high school. No.
No, 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 no. I was the only one in my school who did that because the other ones just were focused on partying. So I kind of was the only one.
The only
Like
one.
crypto isn't too popular, I would say, in Germany. I
Okay.
think if you go more into the bigger countries, let's say the US, Canada, and something like, I think crypto in that kind of regard is because when I talk to my friends, when they were asking like what do I do, it was more like, yeah, I do crypto, and then it was more like, yeah, crypto is a scam. So they had like that kind of thinking, yeah, they just seen one coin that got scammed, and kind of like already turn off their head. And
Yeah.
because I was basically starting out first with stocks, and then I kind of moved into crypto a bit. So that is basically the story, I guess. And then now I'm here.
Now you're
Fucking
here.
time is flying.
Look at you now. All your friends in high school are probably like, we should have jumped on board when Zoran did.
I mean, actually, fun story. Like 3 or 4 people DM me, like, "Why didn't you tell me you to join?" I was like, "I told you, but you were like a bit too."
They're in their own world. They wanted to
Yeah,
party. They wanted to be high
yeah.
school kids. That's so funny. Well, thank you for the intro. So happy to have you here today and to really get into all of your experience in the community and then everything that you've been doing with Fugs. So, Fugs are so interesting. They remind me, they're so silly, and they remind me of these like, those like there's an old movie called Gremlins, and it's like they're so
Oh
cute.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but if you feed them after midnight, they go crazy. They turn crazy, and that's kind of like this really adorable, like crazy mix. And I feel like Fugs really like brings that to life, which is really adorable. The whole collection, it's about 5,500 NFTs, I think. Um,
Yes.
so why don't you, since we have probably we have the Bugs community here today, we have the My Neighbor Alice community, and anybody else that's joining us today. Why don't you give us a bit of a rundown about the collection and tell us why people are loving Fugs so much?
Ooh, actually, good question. So I would put it this way: we minted in May, so we minted out on our mint day, which was in first come first serve. And I think if you're taking a look at our our overall community, I would say they like we are a cute IP. So I think people saw that and was like, okay, we like this. And what we kind of how do I put this in words? What we kind of decided is let's build a story with those fuggers. I think we're coming to that later on, like kind of was what was the inspiration and stuff. So we were, how do I put this? We were the only, or we were a project that was built mainly on organic kind of growth rather than having a lot of like we've spent zero in marketing. We had like our own small little team, and basically we're self-funded. And I think why people like those cute characters is simply just because you see right now NFTs, the most that are succeeding is IP projects. And I think that's mainly because you're not growing the project in Web3, you're also growing the project in Web2 as well. And I think if you have something cute, people are always gonna like that, in my opinion. Like you see the reaction of everyone, and they're always like they always having a smile. Oh, these are so cute, and kind of that stuff. And maybe to jump into the collection a bit itself, we have
Mhm.
like many one of ones as well that are actually pretty cool looking. I don't know if you check them out.
Yeah, yeah, they're super cool. So,
Yeah.
like, yeah, because another question that I have for you is based on the personalities that they have.
Ooh. Okay,
So,
this is gonna be
getting
so
ahead of
so this is the thing. Like the creative mind is Yacht, so he was the main one. But I can maybe go over it a bit. Like what we were thinking is, if we want to build an IP, like every IP project has like let's say their main character. For us, this is a hero, which is basically our most basic one that you
Mhm,
can do a lot of things with because he doesn't have like too huge of a, I wouldn't say niche, but too huge of a personality.
mhm,
So the main idea I would say was like how can we create an ecosystem where we have like not only one character but have more that we can build a storyline onto. And if you check like our website, we have like 12 different personalities. And if
mhm,
you like let's say we're taking a look at Bonbon, she's like the sweet one, she has like a lollipop and kind of going into this direction. And let's say we want to grow the IP and kind of saying like, okay, we want to grow like Duplushi, so whatever there is out there, then you're having those cute characters, and like girls gonna like this more than having like a hero or anything else.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
I think the potential, even like of having, let's say like Lil Pudgies did their show, like they also have like characters in there and they have different personalities. I think this is like the way we can build off from that.
Mhm.
And yeah, that was the main idea, to have like an ecosystem where we not only have one character and build off that. So even like when you're taking a look at Giphy, like all those 12 characters have their own gifts and kind of growing in that regard as well.
Yeah, I think, like, that's great because I feel like it gives options for people to try to relate themselves to one of the Fugs. So, you guys have a broad range of characters across all of those, all of the Fugs, and then you've also put in these unique personalities. So, I think that's really cute because you can also see like, you can definitely see the personalities represented visually throughout these characters too. And I do think that it's very important now because one of the questions I wanted to ask is, you know, obviously launching an NFT collection in this climate is a lot different than, you know, when the bull run was happening back in 2021. So back then it was just you could launch whatever, everybody was minting everything. And now it's a little bit, people are a bit more particular with like the collections that come out and what utility is it going to bring them and what are the long-term goals and all that. So the fact that you guys are coming into the space already knowing that like one of the main goals is basically to create this really cute IP that's also it's gonna be a big IP that will connect with Web2 brands. I feel like that's gonna be like a big push now because like our Web3 industry is so small and it's so niche. And so, how are we going to expand it? By building these IPs, by getting Web2 people and Web2 brands like excited about what we're creating here, right? So, I really love that about you guys. Um, so yeah, you guys did just launch in May. So how was it around the time of the launch? And like tell me how things have been going since you guys launched this collection.
So I was moderating before Mint and after Mint as well. So like things like the market when we launched was kind of like, so first we like, actually a quick story. So first when we launched and announced the mint price, we had a higher mint price, and then like after a week or so we kind of eve pumped. That was the time when eve pumped to like almost, I think it was almost 4K, or it even was 4K. And
Mhm.
then we kind of said, okay, let's reduce the mint price. And then the kind of story was as well like Fark started the bull run. So nah, but like around that time, I think it was actually good to see all of the people actually being excited about this mint. I think I've been in this space for a long time now, and I think I haven't seen, like, I have seen a lot of hype, right? But I haven't seen like this kind of hype from NFT project in a long time, in terms of like people actually posting about it without forcing them, because
Mhm.
a lot of people are just being forced to post something so they can get a whitelist. And we did do that in a bit, I would say, but not in regard like, okay, you need to post, the best post gets a whitelist, right? So we kind of like went into the way of like saying, okay, if you like the project and if you're actually bullish about it, I would say we can reward you with a whitelist, but we're not forcing you. So
Mhm. Yeah. Well, that's also really good too because you want people to be genuinely interested
yeah,
in your IP, right? And you want them to just post like I mean, you're part of Pudgy's community as well. So obviously, they're the strong like in my opinion, I think it's the strongest community in Web3. They're huge and it's because the community members really like are inspired by Pudgy, you believe in Pudgy and you aren't being told push Pudgy. You guys just do it on your own because the brand really connects with you and because it's so great and it gives you so much in terms of the exposure that you guys are getting on Pudgy. Like the IP that's being built is crazy. So obviously like in your opinion doing things genuinely, connecting more genuinely, I feel like that always trumps over like trying to go viral and making people do things. So yeah, I love that. How has it been for you because you came from Pudgy? I'm assuming you're probably part of like multiple communities, but is Pudgy like one of the bigger ones that you've been involved with since the beginning? How has it been now? Because you're on Fugs, you're helping to grow this brand now. Are you pulling a lot of your experience from what you've experienced through being in the Pudgy community to help with Fugs as well?
I mean, actually, good question. I've been in the huddle like for the Pudgy community for almost 2 years now, and I think what you said really like hit the dot. Like, Pudgies don't post because they're being forced. They actually post because they're bullish and love the project. And I think that's the main part that we want to do with Fox as well, is like we actually want people to realize what we're building and want them to kind of post about it as well. And like, things been going well, I would say. And maybe coming back to your question is like, I've learned a lot being a community member in the Pudgy community, and I think I can actually put that experience on. Like, I'm not the biggest Pudgy community member, I would say, but I definitely got some experience, and I think if we and we are trying to do that, kind of getting people to be bullish about the project itself, because we are hosting like every month we're hosting like a community meeting where we tell all our plans and stuff. And I think always after those kind of events, I would say people are always getting more bullish and bullish. And I think because if you're forcing the people and having a lot of hype, I see that like the most hype projects at the end of the day always died. I think 90% of that happened
Mhm.
because people are just like, okay, I want to do a quick mint, I want to do a quick profit and then get the fuck out.
Yeah.
So I think yeah, I mean, I like if people realize here on the stream I'm a pretty open person and just tell it how it is.
I love it.
So
Keep it coming. That's why this is called open mic.
now but like I mean it is like this. Like most hype mints, like not all of them, that's why I said like 90%, but most of them just die. Like the team is not doing anything.
Mhm.
So I think having us as a team, like I'm a little bit biased, but having us as a team, like we're working, we're not going away, we're giving daily, like almost weekly updates, even like on our eggs and stuff, so what we are doing, so kind of the community knows we are not going away pretty soon. Like we are
Mhm.
building this for long term. And I
Mhm.
think that's the main part because I see many projects are doing it like, okay, we are building something, not showing anything, and then show up after 2 months of being like, okay, we built this, like use it, please. And then you're like, yeah, okay, this is not how it's going to work, in my opinion, because
Mhm.
you're like, yeah, you worked on this, but nobody really cared then.
Mhm.
So that's
Mhm.
our approach, like organic, kind of having people believe in the project.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the best approach too, and I think you guys are doing it the right way for sure. Like I mentioned to you before, like I know that Yacht does like spaces all the time, so I listen to a few of them, and like just the way that you guys speak about Fugs as well, you can tell that there's a lot in the works. You guys have been really like putting in a lot of thought into everything that's going into Fugs, and there's a lot of stuff, a lot of really good stuff that's coming in the future. One of those things being this partnership with Alice. So yeah, so obviously, we released a partnership with Pudgy in June, and then now we have this partnership with Fugs. So, what do you think when you first learned of that Fugs was going to be partnering with Alice? Obviously, you were in touch with our amazing business lead Stefania, who's probably listening somewhere. What were you most excited about in terms of this partnership for Fugs and also for the community as well?
Yeah, so basically, when I got to know you guys was actually when you announced the Pudgy like the Pudgy partnership, kind of. Like I knew you guys before, but then I actually checked out like your guys' game and kind of that stuff. And then Stefania like reached out to me and was like, "Do you want to work something with Fugs? I think this can be a good fit in our ecosystem." And I
Mhm,
think now looking at it, it is actually a really really good fit because you have those cute characters. You kind like your guys' game is cute as well, I would say.
mhm,
And then you kind of have those, like, let's say a game with a cute IP in there that people want to play, that people are excited to play as well.
mhm.
Like I
Yeah.
think like this is the perfect fit because we wanted to do like kind of tap our IP into gaming as well. And I think like this is like the first like we had a partnership as well with like Nifty Island, and this partnership is, I think, like, how do I put this without being a bit too direct? I think
That's
like having the cute IP into your guys' game is definitely exciting for me because I'm a huge gamer as well.
yeah.
So when I'm working on a project and I seeing those, like, let's say hero overall, and then seeing that in game is kind of like the best way of growing the IP and stuff. So you're only not gonna have like people that love IP. You're also gonna have people that love gaming, and then they see the kind of hero in the game and be like, "Who is this?" And then they're gonna check out
Mhm,
kind of
mhm.
that. Who is talking? Yacht, no name tags. Oh, that's me. That's Zorin. Yacht can't make the stream, sadly.
Next time we'll have Yacht on.
Yeah,
Okay, so you're a gamer, so you must be so excited to have this integration happen and be
I'm
in
definitely
game.
excited.
Yeah, I want to try and share my screen because we just to show the announcement that we made for Fugs. Let me just try to get this sorted. Because you're right. Like, I think that this is adorable. So if you haven't seen this yet, go onto our X page. But look at that. Aren't you guys excited to dress up as Fugs inside of My Neighbor Alice? Like, how cool,
Woo!
so cute. So I just wanted to highlight that a little bit because I thought that that was adorable. And you're absolutely right. Like, I definitely think that Fugs meshes so well with Alice because it's super cute and adorable. But also, like, the world that we've been building for Alice, because now it's been almost 5 years since we've been developing this game. We had our launch earlier this year. We released Pudgy, and then we had our big release for the game. And we went to Cannes at CC in Cannes to do our hosted partnership, our co-hosting event with Pudgy as well, which was a huge success. But basically, like, that's just it. Like, we want to create this game so that we can invite IPs in to influence our world, to give you guys space. And Alice is very much about self-expression and being yourself when you're in the game. So I feel like by inviting Fugs in, they have this little quirky personality about them, and like you can just see it right from the moment you lay eyes on the Fugs. So I think that that part of it coming into our world really makes a difference because it's something that's completely different. Alice is such a magical, wonderful world, and adding we right now have the Fugs costume, but we don't know what's going to happen in the future. We could have a much bigger integration coming, who knows? So I
Who
think
knows?
exactly. We're working on that. Zoran's doing his job as the partnerships manager. We're working on it. So, like, I think that, like, the opportunities are endless, and I really love how the Fugs brand is going to enhance Alice's environment for sure. Um, so yeah, so you guys have a lot of stuff coming up, like, in terms of your like the future for Fugs. I saw that you guys are going to be co-hosting an event at Token 2049 with, I think, is Plushies and Ryu, all on
Yes.
Abstract, right?
Yes.
Can you
Yes.
tell us a little bit about this event that's going to be happening?
Ooh. I don't know how much I can say. I mean, we announced it, so I kind of can go more into detail. So as you said, we have like, it's called Cute Fest. So if you're taking a look at all like, I would say they have all cute characters. So that's why we kind of go
Yeah.
went into the way of choosing plushies and choosing Ru. I can't pronounce the name. I'm so sorry. I like, whenever we talk about this on a team meeting, I'm always struggling to say the name. So, but yeah,
Uh,
you know the third project. So
yes.
we kind of like went into the way, how can we, because this is our first IRL project after the, like, I will say, IRL project, IRL event.
Mhm.
And we kind of said like, okay, what can we do to kind of for it to kind of make sense. So
Mhm.
we chose them. I don't know how much I can say, because that's kind of like a gray area of like, but we like, it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah. I
La-
mean, of
la-
course, it's your first in real life event, so of course that's
yeah,
going to be exciting for sure.
yeah.
And then hopefully there's many more to come in the future as well.
So l- how do I put this? It's gonna be basically open bar event, kind of like a chill one, where it's not like, I would say, too too like of like networky. I would say you can just come and hang out and have fun. I would
Right.
put it like that way.
Yeah.
And I think like our core community is kind of like US and Europe, but we don't have a lot of Asian people.
Mhm.
And since we're going to do this in Singapore, I think this is a good way of growing our community towards the Asian market as well. And
Mhm.
I think definitely going to be exciting. This is a test to see how everything works, and if it's going to work out really well, which I think it will,
Yeah.
then we're definitely going to do more.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, go big or go home, right? Why not do
Yeah,
your first IRL event at Token 2049 in Singapore. Why not?
I mean, why not? If you have the opportunity, then why not?
Exactly. And I love the three cute IPs being meshed together to host that. So that's super exciting. If I end up making it over there, I'll hit you up because I don't want to miss that either. I think that would be so fun. I wanted to dive in a little bit to a bit about the narrative, but from the community perspective, because I know that there are some IPs that will really go in heavily with the narrative and really like build out the world first. And then kind of focus on the character personalities. But of course, you guys have heavily focused on the character personalities. So but I'm always really curious, like, I guess everybody that joins communities, like, your perspectives are a little bit different. Of course, like, in Alice, we have, like, our world is huge, our universe is huge, we have so much lore. So, like, as from a community perspective, how much do you guys, like, really, invest in the lore and the narrative behind an IP or behind a game in Web3?
Actually, good question. Because I don't think a lot of people. We're gonna go on to future plans as well. I think later, so I kind of can tap into more of this. But kind of, if you like right now, we are mostly focusing on hero,
Mhm.
kind of to getting out there. Like I would compare it to like having. Like let's say Pengu is like Pudgy Penguin's main character, I would say. So kind of like this is like our side of hero, kind of pushing him a bit. Like we're doing the personality stuff as well. I think we're going to come later on that with the animations and stuff that we're going planning on. And how how do I put this? Like if you're taking a look at our like X and stuff, we're kind of always having kind of going with the lore and stuff, kind of
Mhm.
having those things. I think I know what you meant with like first building the word and then going into the personalities and all of that stuff. I think if you like for facts, I would say if you build out the personalities, people getting to know the personalities, and then they already kind of get used to it, and then you kind of can start building the world around it and kind of like go more into detail. And I think that's what's our main mission to for people to understand what we're actually want to build as an IP, because like I know some IP projects struggle to do that in terms of like they having an idea, but how you gonna bring out the message for the people to understand where you want to go to.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think it's very important to expand on character personalities a lot because, I was listening to one of the spaces that Yacht was doing, and he also commented that like personalities like kind of overworld sometimes because people will connect to the personalities and really like find something in themselves that they can find in one of the fugs. And then forever they'll be connected because it's so important when you have that emotional connection because that's when it leaves like such a lasting impression on you because it's embedded in your mind. Whereas like if it's just like a huge world, sometimes it can be a little bit tough to relate to one on one. But worlds are very important, like the one we have in Alice, of course. Like we've done tons and tons of world building, and that is like, I mean, with any like huge, I don't know, even like with movies, with like Harry Potter, that world it's so important. So I think it really depends, like you said, depends on the IP and it depends on the direction you're going. And I think for you guys, it's really cool because you're like everything that you're trying to do with people they're genuinely posting, but I think it's because they truly like connect with the personalities that you guys have in Fug. So I really love that a lot. What's been your favorite thing about this whole process with launching the collection in May? Like, is this your first time working like this closely, doing partnerships with a collection, or did you see yourself getting here at some point when you started off in this industry 4 years ago? Like, tell me about that.
Oh, that's like oh, this is going to be a good one. Now, so maybe to build a bit like I wouldn't say like partnerships I did after Mint, so I kind of moved into this direction.
Mhm.
Like I've been working as a mod first, and then I like 3 years ago I started as a collab manager as well. So
Mhm.
I've kind of like have a bit of experience with doing. I wouldn't say partnerships and collabs are the same, but you kind of have the basic things to do that. And I think it's definitely been exciting to learn like new things as well from my side,
Mhm.
because this first time I'm doing that. So I'm just learning along the way. This is like how do I put this? When you asked me like 4 years ago if I would like be here on stream and being doxxed and stuff, I would have told you like you're stupid. So I'm like, yeah, I've definitely didn't see me there. Like I'm a content like creator as well. So if you ask me like all of those things, I would have like I will be like, yeah, no, this is like I always how do I put this? I always had that dream where I'd be like, okay, I want to do this and that. I want to work for myself. But having this quick of a like because the last year was like the biggest one for me, I would say, in
Mhm.
terms of like growth and stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, I would never imagine being as like seeing myself here and having partnerships, having connections with kind of that stuff. And it definitely is like it is fun to do because you're actually always connecting with new people and not always talking to the same over and over.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think, that's a there's a few things I wanna say in everything that you just said, but, one of the good things that I find that one of the great things that I actually find about having partnerships in this space is exactly what you just said. It's like connecting with people that you wouldn't necessarily connect with before, and that's the thing that I love about Web3 so much is because all of the collections, all of the IPs, all of the games, they're all different. So you get different communities in each one. And then you also get some overlap too, because of course people are going to relate to multiple collections and want to be part of multiple. So in you're getting expertise from all these different community members that are crossing over. And you're growing your own community, your own support system, like just by being a part of all of these different IPs. So that in itself is really cool because yeah, like I mean, I don't think that anybody who is really involved in tons of communities or really supporting an IP could have imagined that they would have met all these people around the world because it's not like just based in one place. It's international for everybody here. And that's one of the things that I've really loved about working in Web3 because, the My Neighbor Alice team is all over the place. And so these are my friends, like most of our team is in Europe. And this is my first time making like really solid connections with Europeans. I love my Europeans. You can be added to that list, Soren.
Yes. Let's go.
So, like it's expanded my world so much and I've traveled so much because of it and I'm so grateful. The other thing that I wanted to say is, it's so funny because I love asking people a question like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, would you have imagined that you'd get to this point in your life? But if you assess, like I did this to myself recently too, because like I was traveling abroad for a little while a couple months ago and doing some heavy reflection on everything that I've gone through and where I am now. And, I was living in Valencia for 3 months. And so I was journaling one day in the park and I asked myself, if you went back 5 years ago and asked yourself, could you see yourself living here, international, with your dog in Spain, of all places? Like, would you had said yes, that was a possibility, or absolutely not? But for my personality, I'm just inherently a risk taker. I love taking risks. I love challenging myself. I love pushing myself. And so I said yes, actually. Like, I wouldn't have said, yeah, absolutely. But I would have said, you know what? It's a possibility because I know myself. And if that's a thought that comes into my mind, I'm not going to say no to it right away. I'm not going to give up before I start. And so I feel like for you, you're also a risk taker, my dude, because you're here. You've been in
Oh,
this
let
space
me
for.
tell you something. Like, sorry to cut you off. Like, I'm like not the biggest risk taker. I always like I used to overthink a lot But I
I'm
think
guilty
if
of
you're
that as
taking the risk, like what's gonna happen? Like you're gonna fail, and then all you can do is stand up and do it again and try something new again. Like I've learned that over time. So I think like saying like, okay, I like I've imagined myself being somewhere where I want like where I do like work for myself and kind of like decide what I want to do. But being here, how do I put this? I wouldn't necessarily say I'm here now, but I kind of like imagine it because taking risks is a must, especially if you want to grow big and not like because if you're in your comfort zone, then you're not really gonna do much of a like impact for your life, I would say. So
well.
if you're just gonna sit there and be like, yeah, why is my life not working out? Well, get the fuck to work, and then you're gonna see what's gonna happen. That's just my opinion. Like I've seen many people. I talk to many people, like being like, okay, yeah, I don't do much money. I don't do this. I don't do this. And then I'm like, yeah, but what did you do for it? Like nothing. Yeah, of course, yeah. Then you're not growing.
Mhm.
But yeah, taking risks is a huge. I mean, you see it with all the businessmen and kind of that stuff. Like the most successful people always took risk, and they failed so many times that you can't even imagine. But at the end of the day, they found something that worked out for them, and
Mhm.
I think that's where you can see a difference between successful and unsuccessful people, I would say.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's I mean, and I think that that really just applies to it applies to Web3 as well. There's a lot of risk takers in this industry because you have to. And I've heard like I've been watching a lot of like just like podcasts and just things around this topic as well. And everybody always says comfort kills you. And it's so true because like but you know what, for some people that's just who they are. They need to stay in their comfort zone because they can't imagine taking the risk because it is very anxiety inducing. Let me tell you, taking risks it is because you have to take a chance on yourself. That's the part that's anxiety inducing because a lot of people can't trust themselves to push themselves that far. So like I like connecting this back to Web3 as well and to IPs because I do think that it's a little bit of everything too. Because if you build an IP, if you're going to be launching an NFT collection, you kind of have to be, or even a game like My Neighbor Alice, you have to be prepared for anything. You have to be able to adapt. You have to take some risks sometimes. Like we take a lot of suggestions from the community and we put those suggestions into the game so that it enhances our game more. And that's how we build community as well. So I think that if you're like launching something in this space and you're just launching it to launch it, it's probably going to die. And you're probably one of those projects that's already been shelved because you just couldn't keep up with the times. Everything is constantly evolving, especially in Web3. Especially now, we have a lot of AI, and I know that AI is emerging with a lot of different companies in the space. So it's really like risky. It's adaptation. It's genuine. I can't say that word. Genuity. Genuine.
I don't know this. I never heard of this word. I'm not a native English speaker, so I have no clue.
Really, I'm not a native English speaker too. I'm just kidding. I am. It's just 5:45 in the morning for me, guys.
I don't know how you can be awake this early. I still don't get it.
I always tell everybody I wake up early because I love what I do and I love the people that I work with. So that is really what fuels me, as well as this coffee mug right here. So yeah, anyway, I mean I love that conversation. It's been like so lovely getting to know you. I think that you're in such a great position as well and with bugs, and it's just so aligned for you, and I'm excited to see what you accomplish, Soren, in the future. And also, now that we're talking about the future, what is this big bright future that lies ahead for Fugs? Please tell us.
Okay, so this is a question again.
You can. Any
Yeah,
alpha
yeah.
not
So this is like I will say as much as I kind of can. I mean, right right now, I think this is a bit of public knowledge as well. Like we're having socials on TikTok and IG, and we want to kind of go into the route of doing animations, like funny stuff, like whatever there is. Like right now we're focusing on hero, but if you take a look at the personalities, what we want to do, like this is public knowledge, kind of having play those personalities a bit more into the animation so people actually connect with them. So that's the like animations, reels, whatever there is out there, kind of growing our Web2 socials. And I think for IP project, that is a must. Like, let's say you're having in Web3, you're having, let's say, 1K people. That's not a real number, but you're having 1K people. In Web2, you have millions of, like millions over millions of people that you can actually reach and build your IP. And like, if you take a look at Pudgy Penguins, I think they did the perfect job at that. Like that's why they're so successful. They built their IP on Giphy. They have the numbers. They have the IP, and
Mhm.
you're slowly seeing all of those. Like also too. Like I literally talked to my sister like a couple of days ago. She was like, "Isn't this your Pengu?" Like she saw like a GIF, and I was like, "No, it's not my Pengu, but it's the project." So I'm so it's kind of like, yeah, that's one way that we are doing right now. We also this is also published already. We're doing like a collector's profile to kind of attract like people that actually want to like collecting stuff.
Mhm.
So we're working on that as we speak. Like we're putting out almost weekly updates on that to kind of have people interested in using the collector's profile. And
Mhm.
now I need to see what else I can say, because that's that's pretty gray zone right here.
Yeah, it's okay. I think that's great. I mean, you guys keep building and keep pushing for Web 2 because I mean, it's going to happen, like I said, for more IPs that are going to come out. I think we're going to see a huge push into a lot of IPs wanting to explore what YouTube is like and like putting lots of personality into their characters and into their collections and stuff like that. So, like, I'm really excited to see that. Do you guys think you're going to focus just on like short form content for Fugs, or do you think you're going to do some more like a bit of a longer form like series like Little Pudgies, or what are you thinking? Can you share that as well?
Okay, so look, this is just my head. This is nothing we discussed in team. Like right now, it's unshort animations, but I think like if you take a look at it like that, like Fox could be like you take a look at Disney. Disney has like so many characters, and if you take a look at Fox, like right now they have 12 characters. There can be definitely like a chance to make an actual like series out of this and have people like, especially if you haven't queued IP. I think the best way of doing it is launching or doing like a kid series, because who else is gonna I think I don't think any 40-year-old, or maybe some are, but any 40-year-old gonna watch like a queued IP series or any kind of that stuff. And
Yeah.
I think I see I this is just my my thinking. I see it happening, but when, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. That's totally fair. I actually come from like my background before my neighbor Alice. I was working in animation for about almost 3 years. So I worked on My Little Pony. So that was a Netflix IP.
Damn,
The
My
first like
Little Pony.
I know. Let me just mic drop that over here. It was their very first, like Hasbro's very first, like 3D series for My Little Pony because they had just released their first 3D movie, and then we got to work on the 3D series. So that was really cool. And then after that, I worked on the Megamind TV series because Megamind had a movie a while ago, and then they just released a TV series. So I learned a lot about story. I learned a lot about animation. I learned a lot about what people want to see from that as well. And when coming into Web3 and then exploring all of the NFT collections, like I think that it's very possible that we could like now you and I are just like philosophizing about what the future is going to look like for Web3. But I really want Web2 to become more merged with Web3, and I think this is one of the ways that it can happen because it takes like I know that big corporations are very weary sometimes because of crypto specifically. So I think if you build something, if you create something that you can remove that from, then you have a really good chance at being successful in Web 2. And like, I'll just throw this in there as well. Something that we really try our best to do on Alice, which I think we've been really successful with, is like building this game and having people play it without knowing that it's a blockchain game. So I think like doing that kind of thing when you're creating projects in this space is really important. But in my opinion, with my expertise in animation, I see Fugs doing content or creating a series that could go both ways. I think you guys could do super cute children's show with the personalities that you have. I also see a really cool adult cartoon, like Family Guys, American Dad, like that type of like comedy vibe. I think that you could definitely do that with Fugs because they have this like super quirky, like they're cute, but there's this quirk about all of them, and I feel like you could really push that in a hilarious way. So I'm going to keep my eyes peeled to see when that series comes out, if it's to see what it's like, and I'll definitely watch it and I'll give you my thoughts.
You actually like had a good point on this, like that quirky kind of thingy. I think that's kind of the way I'm thinking of it as well. I think let's see, like I know those kind of animation stuff are not not cheap. So like to get kind of out there for having like those kind of things, we first need to make sure our company has like a good inflow of money, and then we kind of can see how we can grow that. So but I see it like happening, I'm pretty sure about that. So it just takes time. I always say that, like, people in web3 are kind of they think you all need to build it in 1 month. Well, that's not happening,
Yeah.
especially as an IP project. If you solely like if you're relying on numbers, like IP projects are relying on numbers, let's be honest about that. And I think especially in the early stage of the project, then something like this won't work.
Yeah, I agree. I agree totally. I think that it's very important to build and to be patient because the good things come in time. And I think you guys are doing it the right way. Like you just launched in March. Sorry. Was it in May?
May.
Right, in May. You just launched in May. You have come such a long way already just in a couple of months. So I'm excited to see how far you are going to be within 1 year's time and then 2 years' time. Like we, I've been on Alice for, we're going to wrap up here soon, but I've been on Alice for just about 3 years now. So I always talk about that too, because when I came in, we had just launched, I think, Alpha Season 2, and it was just like fishing first and then farming, I think, at that point. Then we were introducing customizations and stuff. So like seeing, where we've come, it's been such a long way over the last like 3 years. Sorry, sirens in the
Yeah.
back really throw me off at
I
super
just
early in the morning. I live down the street from a fire hall, so there's fire trucks going all the time at all hours of the day. But I mean, they agree. They're like, yeah, you're on a hot topic right now. Like, we're gonna support you with the science.
that's
um, but you know what I mean? Like, you need to take the time. You got to put the effort into your project, to your IP, because that's how you build. That's how you fail and you learn from the failures, and then you rebuild yourself. You add new things. You try new things. Like that's just what's gonna happen. So you guys have only just launched a couple months ago. So like I said, you're so far ahead, and you're definitely doing it the right way, because with the way that even regular IPs are now in Web 2, there it's again, like, studios don't really want to take a risk because it's with the climate right now, and it's not doing very well. So they really want to own in on existing IPs that have already shown and proven that they are huge and people want to be a part of them and watch those IPs on screen, versus something that's completely brand new. So that, like, if anybody is trying to go into that industry or to make it with like a series, basically like Web 2 style, it is like my advice to always build first and then do it exactly like you guys are. So I think that you're going to be super successful with that. You're going to keep pushing. People obviously love Fugs, and they're going to continue to Fugs. Your community is going to grow. I'm so happy that we have this partnership because now you're going to be part of our universe forever. And I'm so excited to see how the partnership unfolds for both of us as well. So that's our time, Zoran.
Damn, it's
So
already
we
what
went
the fuck?
5
Time
minutes
flew like
overtime. I
fucking hell,
know.
like time flew like but I'm definitely excited about our partnership, I would say. Like kind
Yes.
of I think this can play out really good if we keep pushing on new things and stuff. So
Mhm.
I'm definitely excited for that.
Mhm.
And yeah, time flew like uh like way too fast.
I
It's already
know.
oh
For an hour. Well, I mean, hey, we could definitely have another live stream or another spaces and chat for another hour because it's been so wonderful having you here. Thank you so much for hopping on with me. Do you have any last words before we sign off today?
nope. Okay, jokes aside. I mean, yeah, as I said already, I'm definitely excited to see how this will play out. I don't know how much we can share, but definitely going to be excited to see all of those kind of things that we're gonna push into the game, and kind of excited to grow IP, grow your game, guys' game as well. With that, like it's always like you guys grow, we guys grow, so it's kind of like a win-win for both. So
Mhm.
I'm definitely excited for this one, and thank you for having me on this stream.
Yes, yes, exactly. Excited for that as well. What is Web3 without supporting each other, right? So
Yes.
we are very, very happy to be on the same boat with you guys. And yeah, excited to see how this partnership is going to be for both of us and everything that is to come for Fugs. So thank you so much for being here. It's really been such a pleasure. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening to us. Welcome, Fugs community, and hello, neighbors, and thank you for being here, Alice community. Keep an eye out for the Fugs integration to be released very, very soon. And we will be coming back with another Allison Chill in the future very soon as well. So thank you, everybody, again, and we will see you later. Bye.
Bye bye.